I'm gonna see if anybody else want to come in before I get started. There are a few videos that I want to show. Yeah, my hair is growing back, y'all. Mm, all right. Please put in the comments how you are doing this morning. Um, if you have seen the latest on what is going on. If you do not know that this channel is for commentary, discussion, purposes. Any video that I show, I break it down. We talk about it. Um, I don't just play it, so sorry. Good morning. How are you, Beck? Mo light and love. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Just seeing, I'm gonna wait a few more seconds to see if anybody else wants to come in. Thank you so much for putting in the chat how you are doing this morning. If you don't know, the title is about Natureboy's antics. If you haven't seen it, please let me know if you have not seen the latest on what is going on. If you have, this should be familiar to you, and I look forward to you participating in this discussion. All right. Before I get started, do y'all want me to stay cammed up? I can stay cammed up or do the video. Let me know real quick so I can cam down if I don't need to be cammed up. Let me see. All right, I'm going to screen share while I wait for you guys to share your thoughts on whether I should be cammed up or not. Here we go. All right. So I saw this video, and I'm gonna just keep playing it because I really want to break this down. There are other videos that I want to show, but this one in particular, I think it's very important. Shout out to So Supernatural for this video, for sharing this. Oh, hi, Lacey. How are you, mamas? Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to key down so I don't distract y'all. Let's see. How do I do this? All right. So here we have Eligio. And I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on why he's doing this. I want to hear your thoughts as well. Let's see. Make sure I can play it. I got it up high enough.
Growing up, my sister took care of me and my brother.
Can y'all see that?
Mm-hmm. Bring it to my motherfucking mouth. Bring it to my motherfucking mouth. Get in the scene, huh? Mm-hmm. Show you in the scene.
All right, just want to make sure are y'all able to see that the way it's positioned? It's sideways. I don't know how to rotate it. Let me see. Nope, I don't know how to rotate it. So that's because lately he's been having his camera sideways, I guess, to relieve himself of the comments because they are so brutal. I mean, as they should be. But yeah, I'm gonna play this a few times, like I said, because I want you guys to really see. The goal is to really have a discussion about this little clip before I play others.
Did I ask for a strawberry? Bitch, did I ask for a strawberry? No. Huh? No, my chief. Don't you ever in your motherfucking life give me no motherfucking strawberry unless I ask for one, motherfucker. Question 3. I'll make you get on your knees if we're not the same. See, they ain't used to a pimp. Oh, these niggas.
Ain't nothing to me. Stunning ain't nothing to me. This shit, it ain't nothing to me.
Mm-hmm. Bring it to my motherfucking mouth. Bring it to my motherfucking mouth. Getting this thing out. So you in the scene, bitch. Did I ask for a strawberry? Bitch, did I ask for a strawberry?
No.
Huh?
No, my chief.
Don't you ever in your motherfucking life give me no motherfucking strawberry unless I ask for one, motherfucker.
Pushing 3.
I'll make you get on your knees if we're not the same. See, they ain't used to a pimp. Oh, these niggas.
Ain't nothing to me. Stunning ain't nothing to me. This shit, it ain't nothing to me.
All right. So as you can see, in that video, I'm going to tell you what I see. You can agree with me or disagree. I'm going to put the link up as well so that you guys, for anybody who disagrees or agrees, whatever. But what I see is, number one, drugs, and not just marijuana. We now know, because they just are eliminating all filters, because nothing has been happening to him. And so, like most cults, they push the envelope as far as they can push him. And if they can get away with something, they'll capitalize on it and then increase and up the ante, is what you would call it. Hey, Ocean, how are you, mamas? And so what you're seeing is he's reached the point where he feels invincible. No one can stop him. And remember, he's a narcissist. And not only a regular narcissist, not just any narcissist, but he's a sociopathic narcissist. You can see this in his disregard for other human life, human feelings. Okay. And I know we all, don't like Google and don't like the Google research. But I just want to show you something. I'm gonna get back to this. It's not gonna leave from where I have it. I just want to show you. Give me 1 second. How to identify if someone is a sociopath. Here we go. Narcissistic sociopath. And so I'm getting this from Very Well Mind. This is an article. He does anything for views, Yum. Absolutely. Absolutely. And let me give everybody a shout out. For those who were here, for my newcomers who have not messaged in the chat yet, welcome. Yum, yum. That's my yummy. That's my girl, Yum. All right, so that is a fact, Molite. All sociopaths are narcissists. Not all narcissists are sociopaths. That is correct. You can be a narcissist and you can get through life. You aren't empathetic to other people's feelings so much. I watched Born Different, I think it was called Born Different. And they were interviewing a narcissist. And narcissistic qualities in themselves are not dangerous. You want to be a little self-involved. You want to be a little, that's how we survive. We value ourselves and our lives, and our well-being more than we value those outside of ourselves. And that is a form of survival. That's okay. That's how animals are able to hunt, right? My life is more valuable. I don't want to starve to death so that another animal can survive. So narcissism is a part of human nature. What happens with sociopathic narcissists becomes they start to pick away and unnecessarily hurt others. Mo Light says Natureboy is a malignant narcissist, sociopathic, and has sadistic tendencies. Absolutely. Coupled with some severe mental illnesses such as schizophrenia, multiple personality disorder. There's so much going on, and that's why they're so dangerous. It's so much going on, and it becomes a snowball effect, especially if they're not on medication. If they're trying to self-medicate, which he has been doing. I was getting ready to say earlier, we now know that Sauce Poppy is not a friend, but you know what? He's not a friend. He's doing what he needs to do to get paid, right? And we saw them have a slip of a tongue and then try to play it off talking about tobacco. It wasn't tobacco. We know you're not purchasing tobacco. We can see it in this clip and in others. That's not just marijuana as well. We know this because of what is his name? They called him what did they call him? What was the guy's name who left? With his girlfriend. I don't know if they're married or not, but they have a child together. They left with Star and Natiri the first time she left. Put it in the chat if you remember his name. He was the chef at one point. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to the room. Hello, hello. So like I was saying, and there's more there. There's more there. And I'm going to pull this up for you. I might have to lower this. Give me 1 second. Stop screen. All right. I wonder if I can just switch them out. All right. So if you are new to the channel, please hit the like, subscribe to my channel, share this video. I think this is very useful for others to learn from. And if you are someone who likes gossip, this is not the channel or the time. Let me say, I like to gossip sometimes. And if you are someone who likes the video just played out, unfortunately, I don't do that here. All right. So here we go. Qualities of a narcissistic sociopath. Hopefully they give them to me in diagnosing the narcissistic sociopath. Okay, so we already know that the criteria for narcissistic personality, right, is a grandiose sense of self, preoccupation with the idea of gaining success and power and love, right? We know these things. If you don't, that's fine. I'll go through them real quick. But hopefully you get an opportunity to look this up yourself. A need for excessive admiration, for people to love you, to want to be around you. They have a constant need for that. And what people don't know is that narcissists can be created. Narcissism is something that can develop over time. You're not just born, and particularly your narcissist. People who suffer from narcissistic personality disorder exploit others. They lack empathy for others, and they are arrogant. They envy others, or believe that other people envy them. And we hear this all the time in his language. This is nothing new. But what happens is, as I scroll down, it couples with these things, this antisocial personality disorder, as you can see, repeatedly failing to follow social norms. Hello. He can't fit in anywhere. Anywhere. Engaging in deceitful actions such as lying, using aliases, and not paying off debts. I want to show this video so bad. Like, it's so many videos that I could pull up of him displaying these things. You heard on one conversation him, because he goes live more and more frequently again. Um, and so, and when he was just getting into Atlanta, his so-called friends were coming to visit him. You could hear a conversation at one point of the person asking for their money back. They wanted their money back. Pay me. And he said, I got you. Once I get this Bigo money, I'm gonna pay you. I promise. Please come back. Let's go hang out. And the person was like, no. You could hear it in the conversation. Their irritability and aggressiveness. You'll see that in this video. You'll see that in the clip. I'm going to play it again, and I'm going to play it throughout this live because I want you to see the spiral. See, people don't understand what happens in a person's mind when they in a narcissist's mind, when they are losing control. When you see behaviors like this on screen, number one, he's trying to prove something. He's trying to prove something to us. He's trying to prove something to himself, to his followers. And that is, I still have control. But we know that's not true. But that's his goal, is to try and prove that he still has control. He still has power over us, over them. And nothing's going to change that. I'm gonna see if anybody's leaving comments. Okay. Maybeck, what's up? Hey, how are you? Grand Rising. We love ourselves on Maybeck, right? He was breast Yummy again. So, who said it? He's searching for attention. He's searching for attention. All right, let me see. Okay, so anyway, reckless lack of concern for the safety of others. We see this every time he gets deported. Remember when he was in I think it was Panama, or Belize, where he literally created a scene to get things riled up with the police, the local authorities, and the women and the men who followed him were the ones who suffered. He didn't care. He thought that was loyalty, as he is telling the authorities he loved them. He watching his members get beat to pulps. Also, chronic irresponsibility, lack of remorse about hurting others. And so when you hear people like Janae, who we know is Nateri, when you hear Kite, I can't remember his name. I did a video on him, as well as the other male members. But when you hear them say things like, he wasn't always like this, I think it's gotten worse because of the fame, or he just going through things. No. Or maybe if I can love him out of his pain. No. You can't love him out of anything. You can't. There's nothing you can do. The time for somebody to love him out of his pain has long passed. That was when he was a child. That's over. Maisha, his second wife, thought she could love him out of his pain as well. His first wife probably did. Velvet thought she could love him out of his pain. Nothing. Everything that he does and everything that happens to him only solidifies or justifies his actions. Here are some examples of causes of personality disorder. Um, these disorders are more common in males than females and begin in the teenage, early adult years. Some aspect of their upbringing or early environment or even later stressors combined with a genetic predisposition or biology leads to a disorder. And then here you have identifying this narcissistic sociopath. Okay, here we go. Sociopaths don't think about other people unless they can benefit them in some way. Narcissists only think of others in terms of how they reflect back on the narcissist. When you put these two qualities together, the result is a person on a quest for power and control who uses the love and admiration of others as a tool to dominate and manipulate, and who goes about all of this thinking that it is their right and that they are justified. There will be no guilt, no apologies, and no remorse coming from the narcissistic sociopath. Even if these behaviors cause significant problems for for this person, they may find it very difficult to stop the problematic behaviors. After all, it's all just a game, and the people are pawns. Hello, keyword, pawn, right? We know that Eligio likes to play chess because it gives him, I guess, insight on how he can manipulate the people in his lives. When the narcissistic sociopath gets tired of these people or they aren't serving a useful role anymore, then they will cast them aside. Let's see who is paying. Ivy! What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's see who's paying attention. Hey, Rhonda. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for coming. I want to see who's paying attention. Y'all know how I do. Can you give specific examples? Can you give specific examples of when Eligio is displaying these behaviors, these sociopathic narcissistic behaviors? Can we because see, sometimes it's hard for people to really conceptualize what is happening and what these terms are, what they look like, how this reflects in real life. Let's break it down. That's why I'm here. Let's break it down so that when I start my dating on YouTube, my dating whatever videos, you'll be able to recognize problematic people, narcissistic people, individuals, as well as just toxic people. Let's see if anybody wants to chime in the comments. Y'all know I'm gonna drop the link in a little bit. All right. Let's see. A narcissist without a APD might have some ability to feel guilt or remorse and may be able to be helped with appropriate. Let me put my glasses on now. Appropriate psychotherapy. A narcissistic sociopath, however, is unlikely to feel those emotions or be held in a genuine way through psychotherapy. They can't go. Therapy is a game. So when you say, I'm going to heal him with my love, I'm going to heal him with my love, we're going to get through this. No, he's just trying to find a way to manipulate you. And if you don't understand how this works, as it pertains to cults, please check out Ocean Yemi's channel. She has dozens of videos on different cults and cult leaders, and how they use their personality disorder to abuse others. The prototypical narcissistic sociopath. What would a prototypical narcissistic sociopath look like? While there are variations in severity of symptoms, we can start to assemble a picture that will help you to identify these people in real life. Most likely, you've encountered these types of people in news reports. One study suggested that around 35% of the prison population as a APD, I'm guessing that is personality disorder, um, versus 0.2% to 3.3% of the general population. OMG, y'all. Ugh, okay. The scariest part is that people with this disorder are hard to spot. They may be polished, well dressed, successful, and charming. They may take part in charitable causes or activities not because they care, but because it makes them look good. In particular, people with these disorders who have money and privilege may be particularly hard to spot. Remember, people say, "Oh, but he looks good." In the first couple of years of Alicia's reign, I'll say social media reign, people were only following him because they thought he was attractive. He abused many women and men in his, I would say, early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, early 30s until now. But in particular, those 20s, simply because he looked attractive to most women and men. Both narcissists and sociopaths may be charismatic and charming, unreliable, controlling, selfish, and dishonest. They both feel entitled and deny responsibility for their actions. This tells you how narcissists differ. I don't want to focus on that right now. They talk about treatment. Oh, let's see this. Narcissists generally don't seek treatment on their own unless they are experiencing extreme stress. Therapy for a NPD often focuses on techniques to facilitate a more resilient sense of self esteem. However, it can be hard for them to follow through with treatment because it is common for them to perceive the whole process as insulting to their self esteem. Coping with a narcissistic sociopath, constantly, how do you know you've met a narcissistic sociopath or if there is one in your life? He or she is constantly making you feel like you are the problem, not them. Punish you with criticism or silence, seem to get you to take responsibility for their errors, make you feel special and shower you with attention, but then withdraw it for no reason, obsess about their physical appearance and need compliance. Okay, I'm gonna play this video one more time for you all. Let me view text, stop sharing. Y'all know I get down with the get down. Oh, wow. It's a lot of comments that came in. Give me 1 second. I will read your comments. Ivy says therapy is useless. Therapy is useless. Cold therapy works well with a psychologist who specializes in NPD, but still a low percentage of healing rate. The persona is how they ensnare you. Excuse me. Let's see. Rhonda says yes. What is cold therapy at work? Okay. Ivy's going to teach us something today, as usual. The cold therapy method unravels the persona which they can't tolerate. Exactly. Because part of unraveling their persona requires accountability that they just can't handle. Lacey says he has a level of psychopathy as well, but some of his behaviors are calculated. Oh, absolutely. He and young Farrell are definitely working together or have a mutual handler. Can anybody put in the chat who they think one of those handlers are? Because although I don't support channel holders who try to abuse others verbally, one channel holder brought up a point, and that is they all lead to one source who has the ability to broadcast them. And that person is usually broadcasting them when they are shriveling up with content. Their Nature Boy was very low in terms of exposure. He was getting ready to disappear into the abyss. Only a small group of us who are really adamant about taking him down, or at least exposing him, were watching him until correct, Lacey, he went on Netter. When he went on Netter, it ignited a fire in him, because now people are watching him, whether it's good or bad. People are watching him. And so here we are, right? Here we are.
Bring it to my motherfucking mouth. Bring it to my motherfucking mouth. Get in the scene, ho. Show you in the scene, bitch. Did I ask for a strawberry? Bitch, did I ask for a strawberry?
No.
Huh?
No, my chief.
Don't you ever in your motherfucking life give me no motherfucking strawberry unless I ask for one, motherfucker.
Pushing 3.
Oh goodness. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I was literally talking and didn't realize that I was muted. So are you still there? Oh, I'm here. I was talking and talking and talking and didn't realize I was still muted. So as I was saying, gotta go back. I think I'm gonna leave it off of mute. But he's, for those who don't know what's going on in this clip, he's getting fed food, and he tells the people, these are men, because he part of him gaining power and feeling powerful is to emasculate, and so he's making the men feed him, and the men are feeding him, and he tells them, oh, it's not enough that you're feeding me. I want you to feed me in the camera so that people can see you feeding me. He dehumanized them by continuously calling them names. We know that he's probably on drugs at this point. He's probably coked out. We know that Sauce Poppy is not his friend, but more of a supplier. We know that this is probably an episode of some sort. He's more than likely upset at a few things. He's losing money. He's not generating any income outside of what his members are giving him, such as True, aka Aaron. We know that they can't take out any more loans. They couldn't apply for a loan even if they tried, because they have not paid back the loans that they've taken out. I don't know if they've been cleared of those loans. I don't know how the PPP loan situation works, but more than likely they won't be able to get more money. So that money is dried out. So he's resorting to probably exploitation of the members, calling up lovers, past lovers, current lovers, male lovers. Women have almost completely fallen off of supporting him. So no one's going there to be with him. Anyone with common sense, most people are not going. Most women are not going because nobody wants to get slapped around. See, before he was able to make it look like a paradise. He was younger, he was thinner, more attractive to most people. So he was able to, and he was in the tropics, very beautiful climate locations. Here, he's just in Atlanta. Anybody can get to Atlanta. I'm getting ready to go to Atlanta. I just came from Atlanta. Anybody can go. It's nothing special. And so people aren't impressed with living in a rented home in Atlanta. No one's impressed with a man who brags about being with trans women. No one's impressed with a man who thinks that he has power by slapping. And okay, so y'all notice since the Will Smith situation, he has been on a slapping, I don't know what you would call it, tour. He's been hitting them on camera, physically assaulting them on camera on a regular now. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? In order to recognize someone like this, even if it's subtle, this man is probably, the most extreme version of what to expect. Why do you think he's slapping people around? Lacey says he keeps talking about something major is happening June 5th. Now Young Pharaoh is hosting an event June 5th. They both did a live on the origin of the number one day, different technique, but same message. Lacey, Eligio wants to be Young Pharaoh. I'm sure Young Pharaoh probably got that information for someone else. But anything you see Eligio does, he's just copied from someone else. He's just watched it. Sugar Love, how are you? Hey, hey, hey. I just watched some of your videos this past weekend, maybe Friday and Saturday. I was in the chat, couldn't type, so but I was there and I hit the like girl for you. Rhonda says, real talk, I had a conversation with my brother-in-law, and I show him these videos of Natureboy. He threw my phone. He said, we are dealing with a whole live demon in human form, and my brother-in-law is a pastor. Yes. Whatever you believe in, I can't, I could care less. I'm going to be honest. I could care less what any of you who are watching me believes in. You want to know why? Because that is what you believe in. That is how you get through life. That is how you are able to heal and heal others. I don't care. What I do know and what I do care about is someone like this, regardless of how you interpret it, based on your personal beliefs. If he's a demon, if he's a dark entity, if he's I know some people have called him a magician, if he's a witch or the warlock, I guess it's called. Other people have called him the darkest of ancestors. I don't care what you believe in. One thing is for certain. He is the darkest version of it all. The darkest version of anything you could possibly believe in. This is, I would say, 30 to 35 years of anger, resentment, hatred. All right. I think it's reversed strangely enough. I think Nature Boy is spiraling to something terrible. Heaven's Gate. Yes. Yes, Lacey. That's what I'm getting at. Yes. The reason you're seeing this on the screen right now is because he doesn't want to be Elysia. He's never wanted to be Elysia. He's searching always to be someone else. And it gets worse when he's experiencing these I don't know what to call these downfalls. He wants to be someone else. And it angers him that he is still him. It angers him. Look at him looking in the mirror. This is a mirror to him. The camera is a mirror. And he doesn't like what he sees right now. And so he's calling on others to boost his self-esteem, his confidence, to give him the power he so badly wants and thinks he deserves, because remember, he's entitled. He believes he's entitled to the power, and people just don't get it. Something wrong with all of us. The word Eligio, absolutely. I encourage people to look up the word Eligio, the name itself. All right, guys, let me find this other clip for you. Oh, am I still sharing this? Yeah. Give me 1 second. The goal is to break him down. Break him down. If you can break this man down, you will never have to experience someone like this in your life without being protected. Armored up, guard up. This is the one I saw the other day. Look at this. And I want you guys to really I'm playing these, but make sure you cleanse after this live in whatever way you cleanse. All right, share. All right, what am I doing? Okay, this is up. Dismiss. Here you go.
I got more than that. I got other songs. I got hits. On top of hits, I'm just not for sale. I own the master because I am the master. Bitch, yo, 3God. Yeah, a lot of people been hitting me up, wanted to get this information. I was new to the information when it was brought to me. You had somebody at your house that's no longer there no more. Something happened. Would you like to elaborate on that or answer to the people? I know a few fuck bitches I got to get rid of. Got to get rid of. Got to get rid of. I know a few fuck niggas I got to get rid of. Bitch niggas I got to get rid of. Got to get rid of.
He got them folks. Had to get on his ass. She ain't last 24 hours.
So I can't. I thought that was the video. He I guess what is his name? Drip. No, not Drip God. Polygod was trying to get information about the trans woman I don't even think it was a trans woman, honestly, because there are video pictures that surface of the person not not with the makeup and the hair and everything. I don't know. And so he was trying to ask him what happened. And this right here is when Eligio starts jumping up and singing. You notice he does that, and he doesn't want to answer any questions. He starts singing, he makes them sing. And there's a video with him having them crawl on the floor to eat some of his sandwich. Let me see if I can find that one. But he's spiraling. And I'm not going to say slowly, it's spiraling rapidly. This is, if you don't know, some of the things that most cult leaders do before they do something heinous. They spiral. They do more and more drugs. They drink more. They get more paranoid. They get more defensive. They decide to cut themselves off completely from the outside world. See, Eligio is addicted to showing off, because that's what he did, right? His whole life, he showed his ass, literally and figuratively. He showed his ass. So he's addicted to that. So he can't stop that. But what he has done is he shut his mind completely off. He shut it down completely. And anybody who thinks they can change this man, you are sadly mistaken. He's going to berate and beat them until they decide to leave. But I doubt they will leave at this point. I doubt they will ever leave at this point. And that's the scary part. So toward the end of this live, we're going to talk about ways on what we can do or what someone can do. Is there hope for the people who do decide to leave? As I pose this, question, or I put it in the chat, in the description of the video. So, let's see. Let me find the video that I'm going to try to look up. I'm going to put the link in the description for anyone who wants to come up as I go along. You can come up, you can say your piece and go down. You can stay up. I don't care. But it's open now, you guys. You can't change them. That's right. All right. Let me find this video. Anyone is welcome to come up to share your thoughts before I get this clip. And see, usually I just put it up just to make sure. Okay, here, I think this is another one that I wanted to show. This is not the one where she's crawling, but this is how he is continually emasculating the men. And there's a purpose for this. He's not just doing this for show and tell. His ego is bruised. His ego is severely bruised. All right. Where you go, Zoka? Okay, here.
So I've got my essay.
Yes, he did. Yes, he is. The void. Yes, he did. He admitted to having intercourse with animals. He admitted to a whole slew of things. He said he humped everything he could get his hands on at one point. There's speculation that maybe he violated another family member. Let's see. All right.
Written, and I've been working on it for about a week. So now I'm going to show you how I use Grammarly to edit.
Shout out to Shut Up and React TV. Never heard of this person before. Let's see if you have the video that I'm looking for.
More disrespectful, more, just more everything than him. So he got a little rest right now. We'll just about to go down. Shout out to the T, man. The T always keeps.
Oh, the T had it. Okay, then I'm gonna go straight to the source. Let me go to the T. Give me 1 second, y'all. Is this the video? I think this is the one. Okay, yep, this is it right here. Let me click on that. Shout out to the T. Please subscribe to her if you have not already, but most people have. So I don't even need to say it, but if you have not yet, please subscribe to the T. Share.
Oh, say, oh, shine, oh, say, oh, shine, it's shine.
Look, y'all. Look who's behind him. And that's why he gets on the camera. Look who's behind him. Oh, y'all can't see it. Oh, there it go. Look who's behind him. And this is where he is. Look at, oh my gosh. I mean, look at Azoka. Look at her face. Remember when she first came? She was so full of life, so energetic, so powerful. Look at her now. That's right. No sound. Yeah, Zoka lost it. She looks drained and dried up. Absolutely. And remember, she carried a child for 40 weeks. I've carried all of my children way longer than that. 42 weeks, 43 weeks. It's nothing like carrying your child full term and then having a stillborn or the child passing away, whatever, and only to have to serve another man, serve a man while you can't even mourn the loss of a life that you carried for so long. What's up, Ivy Revine? How are you?
Hi, lady. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. I'm here doing my thing and
Doing your thing, girl. You doing your thing. Didn't want to cut you off, but I'm feeling this. I'm not going to stay up here long. I just wanted to point out and make some emphasize some of the things that you said, which I'm loving every bit of it. I'm here for all of it. You're giving me life today. I'm glad you showed this video because I don't know if anybody paid attention to the eyes of these women. I'm sure people did, but a lot of them are losing a lot of sleep here. Okay, they're losing a lot of sleep. They're spending a lot of hours with this man who's going through his psychosis, right? They have to wake up in the wee hours of the night and do recordings. Then they have to go to sleep, maybe get a couple of hours sleep and then get at it all over again. There's a lot of practice. There's a lot of skit making, but he's in his psychosis, right? They're unhappy. Are you seeing the eyes? Are we paying attention to the eyes, people? These women are losing a lot of sleep. So I wanted to also point out that, you know, part of the psychosis have an element of schizophrenia. Do y'all understand what y'all seeing when y'all understand schizophrenia? He's hallucinating, y'all. The three God is part of the hallucination.
Thank you. I was hoping someone would say it in the chat. It did not make it in there. You are 100% correct. He has just taken on an entirely new personality. Not
Yes,
only that, but he's in an entirely different world. When you hear him say we're in a different dimension, he means it, but he's referring to himself. But
that's himself.
he can't differentiate reality from his own reality from actual reality.
Yeah, it's schizophrenia, right? They're emotionally withdrawn in schizophrenia. They're grandiose. Grandiose is part of the makeup, the hair, the big feathers, right? I'm holier than thou. I'm bigger than you. Everyone is beneath me. That's part of that grandiosity, right? He get overexcited. The overexcited part of the schizophrenia. That's why he's pumped. He's excited. This is why he gets to little to no sleep, and everybody around him have to be part of that non-sleeping days. That could go on for a long time. He's going through what bipolars go through, that those lack of sleeps where they're highly pumped, and then it's going to be, y'all don't want to be around for when he comes down, because when it coming down is even worse. Okay, I just wanted to bring that out. They have a
He's
hard
coming down now. He's coming down now. That's the clip I showed. I'm gonna show it again. He's coming down right now. Hold on, give me. Well, I wanted to show this because look at Malia, and we know Tanisha has to smile. She's permanently forced to poke her lips out or smile because he doesn't like the way her, people talk about how her mouth drops. So she's forced to permanently smile. But I wanted, I'm gonna play it again. I'm sure you saw it. I'm gonna play it for y'all again. This is him coming down from off of what you see here. This is him coming down off of that. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Does the T have it up? No. And I just played it in the beginning. I'll play it again. Y'all have to understand that this is so much bigger than what you think. He was just on a live with another gentleman. And he was telling the gentleman as well as the audience. He was telling the gentleman as well as the audience, make sure you beat your woman into submission. If you see a woman, if she look at you wrong, talk to you wrong, beat her. Beat her. Mind you, you have to walk in the street with these men that he's conditioning. I'm going to share my screen. All right. Are you able to see that?
Yep.
Okay. So let me.
Bring it to my motherfucking mouth. Bring it to my motherfucking mouth.
Look.
Get this thing out.
I'm gonna say exactly what he's saying. Get in this, put it in my mother effing mouth. I'm trying, y'all. Let me. I gotta go to the core of me. When I'm upset. Put this in my motherfucking mouth. Put this in my motherfucking mouth. Get in the scene. Let me replay that other one. Ho. Get in the scene, ho. Let's see.
So you in the scene, bitch.
So you're in the scene, bitch.
Did I ask for a strawberry? Bitch, did I ask for a strawberry?
Bitch, did I ask for a strawberry? He's talking to a man.
No. Huh? No, my chief. Don't you ever in your motherfucking life give me no motherfucking strawberry unless I ask for one, motherfucker.
Don't you ever in your life give me a motherfucking strawberry unless I ask for one. But clearly, if this man is holding food, the food was picked out by Eligio.
But that's not the come down yet. I just want to say that, okay? The come down. Let's talk about that part of the grandiosity. Him doing what he's doing right now is still part of the delusion. It's still part of the delusion. So it still feeds into the dark side. It feeds into the id. It's part of that whole ego, that's dysfunction of the ego, right? So that's not the come down. When the schizo come down, right? It's the depression. The schizo will come down, and they really start to question everything that they've been going on around them. And that's when that's when everything is dangerous, because the narcissists don't want people to just walk out of their life. When you walk into a narcissist's life, or they walk into yours, they feel like they immediately own you. They immediately own you. You're part of their property. So when the schizo comes down, and when you add a component of schizophrenia or psychosis, they don't how do they want you out of their life? They got to destroy you before you leave, right? If they don't actually take you off this planet, I don't want to say that, but they want to destroy you before you leave. So if he ever comes down, part of the depression and the anxiety and the critical thought process is, I got to get all of these people out of my way, or I got to create a new identity. So they do a recycling of the thought process or the identity, and then everybody who's part of that realm in which their delusion is at that very moment has to go. So no narcissist likes to stay in the same element for long periods of times. They constantly want to re-identify themselves. So at some point, he may wake up and want to be all of a sudden a businessman. And then he might say, hey, well, all of these people were part of Regard or part of Natureboy. They all got to go. They don't fit part of this delusion anymore. And then he fits to get them out of his life some way. And that's the scary part. I want people to realize this every single time is this. Keep in mind, the one thing the narcissists with psychosis don't want you to know is this. Besides them being completely insecure, is that they have an insatiable thirst.
Mm-hmm.
Insatiable thirst, which means all of these people there thinking that they're serving him would seek to satisfy him. Absolutely not. There is nothing that you can ever give the narcissist with psychosis that will ever seek to satisfy their thirst. Not a person will satisfy them. Not an act on this planet will ever satisfy them. When you give to them, you seek to enable them, and then they grow in that grandiosity, and their reach gets further, and they just destroy more and more people. And they still never satisfied with that. Okay, never. So I just wanted to point that out, and see them as they are. Natureboy is no different than any schizophrenic walking on this planet. There's a lot of people walking on this planet with this psychosis who thinking they're the next coming of Jesus.
Yep.
And if it's a woman, they think they're giving birth to Jesus.
Yep.
They think they're pregnant with Jesus. Look into that. There's a lot of people like him. So he's actually not special. He just so happens to be one of those schizos who actually walk around the planet thinking this, who created a platform that looks crazy to us, so we can't look away. But at the same time, he's not special. There's a lot of people who walking around just like him. There's guys in the hood right now with these big feather hats and these makeups on, and everybody think that they're bugging out. They're going through a psychosis. But he happens to be on social media. Okay, there's a lot of guys out there like him who think they're so-called three gods. He's not special. I just wanted to bring that up, sis, before I'm gonna drop down.
Okay. No, I'm actually glad that, and please feel free to come back up whenever during this.
Okay.
I want people to understand, right, that sometimes we forget that these people are actually out in the world. So when we're looking at him on screen, we're seeing, oh, look at this fool on screen. These people are out here with you. They're with you. And sometimes it feels defeating not to be able to protect them. Yes, someone T Touch said thank you, Ivy. He said, well, they said, well said. Um, we have to remember the reason we're watching this is because we can't believe it. Some people, right? Some people show up, put it a 1 in the chat if you can't believe this is happening. Put a 2 in the chat if you watch this so that you can identify someone like this in reality. And then put a 3. I'm just curious. Put a 3 if you are just entertained. All his followers, both cult members and those online supporters, have aided into his mental spiraling. Yes, that part, Ivy. He's only different because he uses social media. Yes, and you know what's funny about that, Samaya, is there are other sociopaths, other narcissists, other cult leaders who also use social media, just not to this extent. I want to put up here. Let me show you guys something. You have to remember, what is it called? Scientology. Scientology flooded social media, but they weren't showing exactly what they did. Right? He likes to show his life because that's how he started. That's how he was able to bring in people. And so he's addicted to that part of it, that aspect of it. We live in a social media era. And so that's his home. That, he's a social media, almost right before the social media boom. So he's addicted. I want to show, where is it? Let's see. I pray that somebody who has been to Carbonation or any other cults, any of these other cults, I pray you are watching. There is a gentleman, and I forgot his name, but let me see if I can. Here we go. Now, what is his name, though? Because I want y'all to see something. What is it? Here we go. I'm about to give y'all some history real quick. StreamYard. Oh, thank you for the people in the chat. Thank you. Wow, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that, well, I could imagine if you're listening to me, you're looking for more than entertainment because I don't give too much of it, right? Let's see. Share screen. All right, here you are. Ted Patrick. Type in the chat if you know who Ted Patrick is. Theodore Roosevelt Patrick. Oh, they gave him the white man's name. Child, I'm done. Theodore Roosevelt Patrick. This is who I was watching. This is who I was learning about last night, y'all. I'm gonna read it to you. Because I think it's so important. Uh-oh. I stopped sharing it. Made me make sure I put it on the right person. On the right tab, excuse me. There we go. All right, here he is. So when we talk about what can we do, is there anything to do? There is. But we have to be serious. I mean, a lot of us want to learn about it. It's fascinating. We want to see the train wreck. We want to be entertained, whatever the case is. But what happens when someone who has just been in a cult reaches out to you? What do? What if someone has been in an abusive, severely abusive relationship? It only takes 2 people to be in a cult. The charismatic cult leader and a follower, and someone that they can manipulate. That's it. What do you do when someone is coming out and they come to you or you know of them? Well, there's a thing called deprogramming. Deprogramming is a measure that claim to assist the person who holds a controversial belief system in changing those beliefs and abandoning alliance to the religious, political, economic, or social group associated with the belief system. The dictionary definition of deprogramming is to free or to retrain someone from specific beliefs. Some controversial methods and practices of self-identified deprogrammers have involved kidnapping, false imprisonment, and coercion, which have sometimes resulted in criminal convictions of the deprogrammers. Some deprogramming regimens are designed for individuals taken against their will, which has led to controversies over freedom of religion, right? And that's how people like Alicia are able to get away with what they're doing, is that little thing called freedom of religion. They hide behind the guise of religion, and it's not religious at all what they're doing. Kidnapping is civil rights, as well as the violence which is sometimes involved. They give you a background of the technique, and it says, in 1970s in the United States, the father of deprogramming, Ted Patrick, introduced many of these techniques to a wider audience as a means to combat cults. Since then, deprogramming have been carried out by the thousands. For example, various atrocity stories served as justification for deprogramming of Unification Church members in the USA. He had a deep. I want you to let me see if they'll talk about his. It was called Can. It was a program called Can, and the funny thing with these cults is they'll find a way to stop you from doing what you tend to do, what you are trying to do, deprogram the followers, right? But here's the thing: where you don't have to be Ted. You don't have to kidnap anyone, right? One thing you can do is not humiliate them. That's one thing you can do. Is when they are on a platform that you both are sharing. Let's say Bigo. Let's say they're doing an interview. The best thing you can do for them is bring to their attention the flaws, bring to their attention the contradictions, bring to their attention the inconsistencies. Let me see what Lacey has to say. A lot of our favorite leaders and celebrities are like this. That is a fact. That is a fact. Let's talk about Will Smith and what he did. I keep going back and forth, whether or not I think it's justifiable what he did. You want to know why? Because part of cult programming is to make you not even realize that you're being programmed. We've been programmed. If you've grown up in the so-called Black community, if you've grown up in the hood, you are programmed into violence. Period. The same way, if you are a part of the United States or the United States, you are programmed into a level of a level of narcissism. These are indoctrinated into us. If somebody pisses you off, beat their ass. If somebody ain't beating someone else's ass for you, they don't care about you. They don't love you. Am I right or am I wrong? What are your thoughts? The link is in the chat if you want to come up. Let's see. Every 5 hours, a Black woman is being murdered due to domestic abuse. Black women are not protected enough. Where are the brothers? Despicable. I'm curious. That is a fact. Let me just say, first of all, that is a fact. What would protection look like? Would it look like somebody slapping another man in the face? What does protection look like? Because right now, Eligio thinks he's protecting us. He thinks he's protecting the women there, or that's what he tells us. If you want to protect your woman from white supremacy, you want to protect your woman from others, you literally abuse them, you seclude them, you oppress them, you give them no other way out. What does protection look like? Mini me, hey girl. I don't understand why the ladies and men in his cult can't see his behavior is getting worse and more abusive, and they continue to be involved in all of the confusion and chaos. Okay. Mini me, you want to come up? I got you, Mom. You want to know why? You want to know why? Because they've been programmed to fear the outside world. There are videos that I want to play. I don't know if I'm gonna get a copyright strike. Y'all know how it goes here in YouTube streets. But please take it upon yourself to go take a look, do some research, find out why people can't get out. It's not because they're not smart. It's not because they're not experienced. It's because they've been programmed. Why do you think slavery, American slavery, lasted so long? You have been beaten into submission, conditioned into a lifestyle, conditioned into habits, and shown the consequences of breaking those conditions or habits. All right, let's see. Yes, at Real Talk, I was in a cult. Oh, Samaya, come on up. Y'all know I need. Listen. My viewers want to hear your thoughts. Anybody who's in this live right now, they want to hear you. Don't be afraid to come up. This is a safe space. And if it becomes not a safe space, y'all know I will protect you. I feel like all domestic abuse survivors and victims were a part of relationships with mimic cults. Yes. What's up, Sky Atticus? How are you? Hey, Real Talk, you speak the truth right now. And yes. We're here. If you have not seen Ivy's response, y'all know relationship coach Ivy Revine, she was here. She just talked. She's in the chat. She can come back up. But take a look, rewind that part when you get a chance and hear what she has to say. She drops gems. Claire, welcome, mamas. How are you today? Have gave out his address the other day. He's admitted to child. Yes, he has. People reported it. See, let me tell you something about narcissists. This particular narcissist and narcissists in general, they are find ways to create to develop relationships with people who can get them out of shit. Let me repeat that. They find a way to develop relationships with people who can get them out of shit. Eligio has somebody, and I repeat, on standby that he can expose, more than likely, if they don't do what he tells them to do. And I'm not talking about his followers. Remember, this man was a gay escort, a stripper, a prostitute for men. And we know most men who get into that lifestyle live double lives. Okay, Ivy. Delisa says, if Nature Boy kills, I shouldn't have said that word, y'all. Now I gotta take it out. If Nature Boy does someone on purpose or accident, they will all wind up in prison. That's a fact, because I believe they will all, but yeah, and never mention the person again. So here's the thing, Delisa, about that. Because there are so many people watching, he can't. Because there are so many people watching, he would not be able to. Would he push somebody to harm themselves? Absolutely. That's the way that a lot of them get away with what they do, is they push other individuals to do the dirty work for them. Yes, he did. And he goes back and forth with saying, one minute he says we're taking it out of context, and the next minute he's saying, yes, I did say that, because this is what I believe. And so you don't know what to believe. That's the part of creating chaos. She said, yes, we do want to hear Rhonda. I done lost my train of thoughts. Usually I keep notes, y'all. My mind is just all over the place sometimes. The little girl Zoka, she's not a little girl. She looks bad. He's broken her down so much that she is displaying childlike behaviors, very young childlike behaviors. Let me see. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna stop sharing, and I'm going to play something for you all. And every other video, if you notice, every other video says Nature Boy's lost it. Nature Boy's lost it. No, he ain't lose nothing. This is him. It's always been gone. It's always been gone. Let's see. Oh, that's not it. How do I? Oh, there it goes. Today. Where are you? Okay, here we go. Look at this. This is the one I wanted to show you. 6 minutes. Share. All right. Shout out to Keys, to the Big O Streets. Shout out to everyone who catches this stuff and posts it.
Yeah. Them niggas better listen. Fuck they talk about. It's the 3 gods. Yo, if y'all got some fucking questions for the 3 gods, say it in the comments. If he don't like it, he gonna mute y'all or some shit like Solar! Put that nigga in check. The 3. That's your head man right there, right? That's your head man. That's your head soldier, right? Like that's number 1 and number 2. Didn't I tell y'all Nature Boy be in here? This is panel. Yeah, he's not supposed to look at the camera. He's supposed to look up.
Shout out to Stella Harris for subscribing.
He means up. Yo, so Cheat 3, what you
Let me push pause real quick. Thank you so much, Stella, for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate you. To all those who have subscribed, thank you, thank you, thank you. And please make sure you hit the like on your way in or out.
Oh shit.
Left, right,
On demand.
up,
That's right, Cheat 3. Yeah, Cheat 3.
left,
Yeah, Cheat 3.
right, up. Outstanding.
I stand out.
Outstanding.
I stand out.
Up,
Yeah.
right, left, up.
No down? All right, that's what I'm talking. Oh, triangle. Up, right, oh, left, right, up. Triangle.
Outstanding.
I stand out.
Outstanding.
I stand out.
Outstanding.
I stand out.
Stop motherfucking smiling, pussy. Ain't nothing fucking funny, homie.
Yeah, nigga, ain't nothing fucking funny, nigga.
The fuck is funny, nigga?
You listen to the Cheat 3 when he speaks.
Ain't nothing fucking funny, homie. It's your mind right, nigga.
This is somebody's son. This is I was just on his page, Twitter page, and he shows pictures of when he was, I guess, a thug, a gangster, you know, one of them hood boys. And you've reduced yourself to this. What's the difference? Somebody tell me what the difference is between this and a gang. Look at this devil morphing into, look at it. He's looking at the camera for validation. Yeah, look what I can do. Look what I make them do. Look how I talk to them. And they obey me. Nothing is normal about this, or him, or what these individuals are going through. Nothing's normal about this. They need to be completely deprogrammed by the time they get out. Natiri Janae, you need to be deprogrammed. Velvet, you need to be deprogrammed. Kite, I'm sorry, but you do. And I don't, you know, I'm not against religion. I'm not against people who use religion to help heal. But I think that's not the only way. That's part of the way. For those who believe, who are believers in whatever religious practices. So Samaya says Nature Boy is definitely talking about you know what more often. He's manifesting that. Absolutely. I think Marie, welcome, welcome, Marie. I think most people don't understand the nature of abuse, exploiting power dynamics, and just how lost and vulnerable we all can become depending on life's traumas. No one is immune to being abused. That is so true. Remember, we had Magdalena, who they called Mama Dia. She was in her, I believe, her late 50s, early 60s, and she was exploited. We have businesswoman Sybil, who went there, and they called her Mama Earth. She was exploited. Before, there were male members, very, very strong male presence, who were also victims of this. Go ahead, Ivy. We here for you, mamas.
Yes, yes, yes. I want to reiterate what you were saying about the deprogramming, because that's very important for people to understand that when you get around these type of people, that even if you meet them sometimes for a month, say like you dated a narcissist with psychosis for a month, that in itself can cause some traumatic experiences. When you speak to these people, they can affect you in such a way that it does play into your psyche. So a lot of people need help. They need to always be able to self-regulate. That's why it's important to keep people around you who know you well, because these people will separate you from your friends and family. That's why they separate people from their friends and family, because there's nobody to help regulate your emotions. There's nobody there to give you self assessment, to self check you and say, that's not who you are. That's not what you really believe. That's not where you come from. That's not part of your family under functioning. That's not, you need people to understand you well, because you lose a part of yourself in these type of relationships. And then that's where the programming begin. So the deprogram is to write down everything that you desired in your lifetime. Think about where you was the day before you met the narcissist. What was your desires? What was your wants? What did you want to give to humanity and to your family or your friends or people that you love? Right? What were your talents? And start to speak life back into those things, because the narcissist will tell you that's not you. There's a lot of talented people in his camp that he does not really let them really tap into their talents very much. Why does he do that? He wants to separate them from who they are, so they never have a reason to rise up within that and say, this is not me. I'm a talented person. I'm a strong person. So he separates them from things that can make them powerful. So remember those things. Tap back into it.
Ivy,
Just wanted to say that.
what do you say to Delissa, who believes she can't do anything?
What you mean? Okay, if you want out of a cult, you definitely need to speak to a mental health worker, because someone myself, I couldn't help them because I know. Okay, so what you mean, do nothing? She couldn't do anything? Meaning, can you elaborate on that, real?
She
Because
says
I
she
want to.
knows nothing. She says she can't do anything because she doesn't know anything. She doesn't know how to help the person. Can you kind of, give her a little bit of what she can do? Simply, even though you think you know nothing, you can always do something.
Yeah, I mean, this is what let me really horn in on this piece right now. When I was in a brainwashed situation with a narcissist, a malignant narcissist, if I did not have someone in my life that I can secretly call and they help self-assess me and say, well, remember, you are strong. Remember, you are light. Remember, you are a gift. They had to speak these things to me. And this then became my positive thought process when I was getting stronger to leave the malignant narcissist. So you don't have to do anything. Listen, it's not within your power. You can't move these people physically, right? You can't tell them what to do. But if you always remember to leave a little piece of yourself open so that people can contact you and say, this is what I'm going through, and lead in love and say, I understand. I'm here for you. Whenever you want to talk, I'm here. That's all you can give someone. Nothing more, nothing less. So that when they are ready to get strong and they start having the positive thoughts in their head to get stronger and move out of those situations, their voice, your voice, will be in their head. Your
That's
voice
right.
will be in their head.
And that's
Do you
why
know?
when people say, when I hear people say, call Tanisha trout mouth, and I know it's funny, I get it, but she hears that, she sees that, she reads that. So when you are trying to pull someone out, like you can't do it physically. I just showed you the father of deprogramming ended up in losing his entire work, his entire company, everything he built, his organization, because of his methods. He tried to forcibly get them out.
Oh, yeah.
The same way Eligio, in the same way other narcissists put it in them. Remember, they do nothing in the beginning is physical. Nothing in the beginning is physical. It's all mind control.
That's
So
right.
if you can, and then the physical would be to hug, to touch, to a kiss, something to show them, to bring them back into their current body.
Yes. Understand that the narcissists, most narcissists, a lot of them, especially the malignant ones, the ones who work with the mind, they understand the essence of childhood wounds. Childhood wounds. That's why when Nature Boy brings you into his camp, you have to express your childhood wounds. He needs to know that about you somewhere either before and after your astrology. Why does he need to know that before and after your astrology? Because we are still working from our childhood wounds. Most of us are adults still living in our childhood wounds, which means we are conditioned to read a room, because we were either abandoned or neglected. So we read rooms, we read energies. A lot of us are calling ourselves empathic. We are simply empathic because of something that happened in our childhood that made us intuitive. Do you understand? He knows that about people. So he says, tell me where your wounds begin. What did your mother do to you? What did your father do to you? Your aunt do to you? He listened for the wound. He listened for where you was hurt. And he used that to exploit you. So when you start to rise up and find a sense of yourself, he'd be like, no, that's not who you are. You're a broken child. And I am your God to a better part of yourself. But that's exploitation. That's exploitation. So remember that every single time you're dealing with people. All he doing is using a method of psychology. But that doesn't make him a smarter person in the room. A lot of narcissistic, psychopathic, schizophrenic people going through psychosis are quite ingenious. But that don't make them the smartest person in the room. All they do is exploit knowledge. And that's all. That doesn't even make him special. It doesn't make him special. There are a lot of people in the world just like him. Let me give you an example. I lived with a person for 10 years. This woman, she was a schizophrenic, diagnosed schizophrenic. And she would have this is why you got to expand your knowledge of people in the world. She would say the CIA was watching her. A lot of schizophrenics thinks either the CIA is working with them or working against them. So she say the CIA is watching her. She would walk in the house to unplug televisions. She had a sense of grandiosity. She would do a lot of things. She would exploit you. She would take your information and use it against you. She was only a schizophrenic. Not a special person at all, but quite ingenious, because behind that sometimes lived the element of creativity. And a lot of them don't take no meds because it takes them away from their creativity. Do you understand? So she wasn't a special person, but if she took all of those weird ways about her and put it on social media, she would have a following. Why? Because it's different. So what we're watching, folks, is a different person who kind of stuns us because it's not part of our world. He's weird. He's different to what you're living in your existence, but that don't make him special. So people like him who he have in his camp, they think it is special because they never seen it before. And then he get to say, I am God and follow me. And they say, I will, to the end of the earth. But what you're following is a man a sad and scared, wounded child man taking them into their judgment. Their judgment. Okay, I just wanted to bring that out. Sorry for preaching. Let me go.
Oh no, you're good. You're fine. You know that. You know that. I want to say good morning to everyone who just came in. Good morning, good morning. Ivy, don't go anywhere. I want to say good morning. Welcome, Nikki. Thank you so much. Marie, Ali, thank you. I appreciate you all so much. I'm so glad you all are here and just enjoying the conversation and being a part of it. I'm reading the chat. I'm gonna make sure that I answer what questions I can. And we're going to continue. I'm going to play some more of this video before we break some more of it down. Thank you, Ivy. All right, let's see.
Fucking joke.
That's right, Chief 3. Yo, I hope y'all recording this. Y'all better not be not recording this. This man is the Chief 3. You are looking at a fucking legend right now. On demand. I need to do this to my pit bulls, because my pit bulls be fucking out of line.
Right? Up.
And they say he don't got no power. This is power, y'all.
Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Outstanding.
I stand out. I stand out.
His arms like this.
Yo, so look, when they eating, right? How you tell them to pick up the fork?
Nigga, shut the fuck up when I'm talking, nigga.
My nigga.
So I wanted to pause it because that last part is something separate I want to talk about. My question is, why do you think he starts to growl? Why do you think he starts to talk in that low growling tone? He posts it on his whatever he's on, I think Instagram, Twitter, I don't know. He posted it on one of his platforms. He's been posting a lot of a certain individual or a certain character. But I would like to hear the psychology of why. I'm gonna tell you what he's been doing for it to have gotten to that point.
Okay, I sometimes I gotta remember to remove, I want to remove the actual element of what we would call a higher elevation, as if to say he is a being or supreme being. We have to remember to remove the supreme away from the element of man. This is why he gets so much recognition, because sometimes people will see him trying to vibrate and they tap into this whole ideology of spirituality. And he is not that. He's not that and never can be that, because he live in his id. He live in his flesh. I'm sorry, I just have to point that out. Okay? He is a man who has never and will never elevate to a level of spirituality, which a lot of us seek to find. Right? A level of enlightenment, which he's exploiting the whole realm of spirituality. People are looking for answers when they don't realize that the answer and the road to spirituality and an enlightenment is within themselves. Can't nobody take you to a level of enlightenment besides you and the source, a source you attain to get there. When you follow a man embedded in his flesh, this man is speaking of sex all the time. This man is looking to exploit. He talks about domestic violence. It's a man who's constantly living in his id brain. He have never and will never rise up to no level of God, don't know what God looks like, never heard God, and never felt any type of spiritual enlightenment. And he can't even feel anything lower than spiritual enlightenment. He's not attaining to no devil of any kind either. There's no way. He is embedded on this planet. He's embedded in the flesh. I just want to point that out. I have to say that. So we can't, when he uses animation, he's just animating. It's another part of the delusion. It's another part of the illusion to get you to look further in. You get captivated by that. What is he doing? Why is he doing that? Oh my God, it's demonic. It's an act. And the flesh seeks to act all the time. It has no identity. Just have to point that out. The flesh has no identity.
Absolutely. I think part of it is an act and part of it is, so if you remember, right? For those who remember what Eligio's brother said, what is his name? Leonardo. If you remember what Leonardo said, if you remember what Candy said, he went to a mental institution because he got so stuck in his psychosis, he thought that he was DMX.
Yeah.
Right now, he truly believes. Let me tell you something. When I was a child, I watched TV so much that I thought I was a witch. I was watching what's the name of that movie? Craft. I watched it every day, and I thought I was a witch. I thought I could move things with my mind.
Yeah.
And then one day I woke up, and I realized it's just a damn movie.
How old was you?
I want to say 11 or 12.
Very good. Very good.
Exactly. And so that tells you how old his mind is.
Right. So yes, part of the psychosis, right? Like I said, it's part of the delusion, but he lives in his childhood wound.
Yes.
Even he understands the childhood wound. That's why he uses the childhood wound to exploit others, because he's still living in his. But then he tell people, let me help you elevate away from the childhood wound. But that's the snare. Follow me so that I can keep you invested into your childhood wound, so that I could get you to serve me. Because I am God, says the malignant narcissist with psychosis. Okay? We have to recognize that he's still just a man. He is no one.
Ozark says all of the family members need to get together and go to the police and news and tell what Natureboy is doing to their loved ones. They know.
They know.
They know. But here's the thing. If you remember what worked with the Jim Jones situation, unfortunately, it had a very tragic end. But some people were able to wake up enough to even go to the helicopter to leave.
Yeah.
Right? So if that is what you're saying, if we could what do you call it? Make it so. If we could make it so, number one, you would have to get in contact with all the family members. So, which means you have to find out their true names or their born names, which are available to you. All you gotta do is just Google the cult, and they've been arrested several times, so you'll know their names. Then you have to find out a way to reach out to the family members or broadcast via a platform that the family members can see. And then once you do that, for the family members who do reach out to you, who do contact back, you take that and then you go to a what we would call a criminal investigator or a what do you call them, Ivy? Oh my goodness.
You said
an investigative reporter. Thank you. Oof.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like, what are you saying? Sorry.
An investigative reporter. Then you take that and you reach out to investigative reporters. Once you've reached out to investigative reporter, if someone gets back to you, that is how you will be able to truly make an impact on convincing any of them to leave, because they'll realize, may or may not realize, just how important what is happening to them or getting them out is. That it may not even make them leave that day, but they'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to know how you can help? That is how you help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you can't do it alone. You can't keep calling the police, because they already believe that our goal is to take their Messiah away from them. To they have created them versus the world, the others.
Right. The narcissists bring you into their illusion.
Yes.
So what they're living is in his own false fantasy. They are actually living as in reality in his false fantasy. It's more of an illusion to him than it is to them. They are committed to his delusions. They're committed to his delusions. And when you get in and you physically do something to move it around, swoop in and try to take him away, or swoop in and try to arrest him, you martyr him. Do y'all understand that? Because they're not deprogrammed. So you martyr him. So he becomes more of a god to him now than ever. Do you understand? I need y'all to understand that. It's really part of a programming. They're already invested, because there's room for them to leave. Terry left. Shoot, you wait for everybody to sleep. What you do? Skip out, right? There's no book, there's no chains, and there's no locks, and they're still there. What they don't have is a support system. What they don't have is someone who they can call and say, I'm feeling something right now, or I'm a little nervous, or I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and I'm trying to, and then someone who will just listen. Not even to speak about him demonically, but also just listen and say almost nothing and say, yes, I understand, but let me remind you of who you are. Let me remind you of who you are, and then get off the phone with them. And when that happens from day to day to day, then they start to think differently, right? And then they can get strong enough to move out. But I'm saying, there's nothing you could do for these people in the state that they're in. It's unfortunate, but it's nothing. The only thing that's going to happen with Natureboy is like what every narcissist do, especially schizophrenic ones. They end up breaking the law. They destroy themselves. The component to narcissism is self-sabotage. It's self-sabotage. They all self-sabotage themselves. Even the smartest ones and the richest ones among them end up self-sabotaging. They end up doing something stupid. They can have millions of dollars and make a stupid investment and then end up in jail or end up losing millions of dollars. None of them become big and remain big forever. Okay, I just want everybody to recognize that. So when he self-sabotages himself, then they got to figure out what their next steps are going to be. And that's it.
Wow. That's, yeah, 100%. Self-sabotage, y'all. It's going to happen. Is it going to happen when we want it to happen? No. But it's going to happen. Read a few comments. It says, Delisa says, I would never want to ever meet any of them people in real life. Look at how he just, he just bitched them out. That nigga down like a girl. And that, yeah. I'm sorry I'm reading it like that. My reading voice and my speaking voice are sometimes collide. Ocean, exactly. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else I need to read. The FBI knows. They call them agent provocateurs. Agent provocateurs. Right. See, Velvet was able to leave because her family didn't give up. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And they did.
And I just want to
go ahead.
Sorry. I just want to speak to this. She, even if she didn't end up with her family and she ultimately left ended up alone.
Yeah.
It was her father's voice. It was someone in her life who reminded her of her inner strengths. That's what gave her the strength when it was time to leave. So she wasn't able to adopt the ideology of her being less than. She wanted to see herself as more of, because somebody in her life kept speaking life to her strengths. You are this, you are special, you are special. So when she walked out because she said, I am too special for this, right? And then that's also the strength that you rely on when you don't look back. Because a lot of them get weak and look back. So it's going to be that voice that reminds her of how strong she is.
Nateri, if you think about, so what I noticed is the ones who go back, what they say is, I'm done with this. I don't like what's happening, but he healed me. Or, but he was my father. He was a father figure to me. But it feels like he loved me. He just had issues. They talk themselves back there because they don't realize that, number one, think about what he healed you from. What did he truly heal you from? What were you missing or didn't have or needed before you got there? What were you struggling with before you got there? When you were there, how did that change? In what way did it change? Did it change for the better or the worse? Those are the things that you need to ask yourself. And now that I am gone, am I healed? Am I truly healed? Or did I have to go to the doctors to heal myself? Or am I even more traumatized? Whenever I speak of my time there, I cry in pain.
Right.
That's not healing.
Right. We got to keep in mind that only a specific type of people get entrapped into these type of relationships with a nature boy. So that's why a lot of us can get together like this, because we are kind of like a one mind too. We're saying, not me, right? I won't do that. So that's why it's kind of enchanting, and it's kind of weird to us why people get caught up into these types of situations. How did this happen, says us, right? But when you think about it, these people all share a common theme, and that common theme is loneliness. That common theme is lack of self-esteem, right? That common theme is having no particular identity, don't know what they want in the world. And when they walk out into the world, a lot of them are walking out to seek what we would call enlightenment. A lot of them are saying, I don't know who I am, so I'm searching for God, right? I'm searching for God. And then there's this man who come along and be like, here I am. Right? But that's not having you don't understand the world. So a lot of them are very ignorant to the world, very vulnerable to the world. They probably was they were probably sheltered most of their lives, or had broken families. So they all share a common theme. So when they go out and then you got this man who professes he know everything, you take a chance on that. And I'm trying to bring a little logic to the room when it comes to these type of people, right? So not only does he come to them with all of this information, he comes welding a family as well and saying, if you want part of this pact, right, you got to give me everything of yourself, which means just deprogram, just take out everything that you learned in your conditioning. First, tell me what your wound is, then I can monopolize on that. Now, everything your family ever taught you, forget all that, because this is where your new family is. Right? And if you never had a family that made you feel loved or fulfilled, you are willing to sacrifice that to be in a relationship with these type of people. And that's why people like Nateri and whoever leave, when they leave, they don't leave because they love him. They don't feel hurt because they love him. When they leave, they actually feel hurt because they felt like they lost a family or a tribe of people who understands them. You understand? But that's part of the illusion too. It's no real truth in that
family. Fact, because your family, if you truly love somebody, if they truly are your family, they wouldn't slap you on command.
That's right.
From someone else.
That's right.
They turn on you before you can even blink.
That's right.
That's not love. That's not family.
That's right. And that's where it'll hurt you the most, because then you find it's only through conflict when you find that, and when you're ready to demand your own voice or your own autonomy, or you want something for yourself when you find out, wow, they're not for me at all. They never been here for me.
That's right.
Right? So when you express a part of your own individualism, then you see where their heads really are about you.
That's right. And I also believe drugs are also a big influence on why they go back. If you we talk about Tanisha, why did she go back? Why did she go back? Right? Think about what happens to the body when you stop doing drugs. What happens?
Oh yeah.
What do you go through?
Withdrawal.
Withdrawal. And it has been stated many times from different sources. I said this earlier in the live. Shaka, that's his name. Shaka stated that Velvet herself was was exposed to narcotics and not weed, exposed to narcotics during her stay there.
Mm-hmm.
And other people exposed to narcotics when they were there. And that's one of the reasons they can't leave. I believe that's one of the reasons why Malia decided to go back. Because her body went through the hell of a shock. Because she, in her mind, her spirit is fed up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There are other things compelling her to stay.
Yeah, I mean, I would not put it past that drugs, it plays a part in that. Absolutely. But when you think about drugs, drugs can be obtained anywhere. So if it's just about the drugs, right? If it's just about the drugs, if you get out, you just try to find another, you ask the person on the street, hey, you know where I could get some weed, right? Like, it's like really not that complicated, right? Really what happened was, and let's call logic to this situation. She left, right? Because she got frustrated because she puts on a lot of pent up energy, right? So if people who practice astrology, I do too, but I don't care to use it. But let's talk to the people who think about astrology, right? So she had that Pisces energy holding all of those emotions, and then the Aries projects the emotion, right? So if you want to think about it logically, let's think of it like this. He's always picking on her. She's the scapegoat. Every narcissist need a scapegoat in a multiple family. Every narcissist need a scapegoat in a multiple family. If a narcissist is living in your household, if he have 3 children in that household, or she has 3 children in that household, you're gonna have one who he favor at one time and another who he treats like crap. That's the scapegoat, and the other one is the golden child. Natureboy always says all the time, because he's narcissistic, these people are my children. But that's how every narcissist think. Everyone is their children. Every narcissist across the world make people their children. You become their pets. You become their projects. You are not on any equal footing to them. The narcissist has no equal footing. Remember that. You understand? You come into their household, you are not my equal. You are like a pet. You are a servant, says the narcissist. And guess what else that people need to realize when they start to serve them in these settings? The more you give to them, the less valuable you are to them. Does that? I know it makes no sense.
Disposable you are to them. He has them there because he's just waiting for somebody to be interested in coming.
Right. So I'm just saying that the more you give to them, he sees you less and less on that favoritism role. It's like, you are nothing to me. You are just more of a loyal dog than anything. Do you understand? And if you're not a dog lover, what happens when you're not a dog lover and you got a loyal dog? What happens? You might smack him around a little bit. You might throw him in a cage. Am I correct or am I right or wrong? That's what happened to these type of folks. They're dog lovers, treating people they dog haters, treating people like dogs. They don't have you cannot become an equal to them ever. It's just not going to happen. So she had all that pent up energy and she popped. And what happened was she left and then she watched him, which that's what people do in narcissistic abusive relationships. You don't just move on with your life and say, good riddance. You go home and you watch them on TV. And then what he did was stage a triangulation in front of everybody's eyes. He staged a triangulation where he brought Nateri up and said, now let's act like you're going to be my new queen. You're gonna be my new queen. And she thought in her head, wow, this might actually be happening right now. I might actually become queen because I always want to be queen. And then he staged that. And Malia said, oh, hell no. I work hard to be queen and stay queen, even though he's demonic, even though he's abusive. And then she runs back over there because she like, no, 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 baby. You're not going to be a queen in my face, not Nateri. It's not going to happen. I'd rather take the abuse than watch her get whatever favors out of being a queen, because in their mind, they still think he's a normal person.
And
But
you know
he's
what's
not.
so sad is that there are so many factors as to why she went. There's so many factors, so many reasons. And it all leads back to manipulation. People like this create so many reasons for you to come back that even if you check one off the list, there'll be a dozen more reasons why you should go back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because they'll tell you can't live in society. I told you, it becomes a parallel universe, right? We talked about the whole parallel universe where you live with them, that's normal. And then the real world is abnormal. It took, out of my malignant narcissist relationship, it took me 5 years to find my normal. It took me 5 years to find my normal when I stepped out of that relationship. How does that happen, Ivy? It happens because they put you in a box, in a bubble with you and their abuse. And that becomes a place of familiarity for you because you have no sense of identity. So this is normal. And then the world outside of that is normal. I tell people that all the time. So they get out there and they step out in the world and they look around and they're like, oh my goodness, this looks weird to me. This looks demonic to me. This looks crazy to me.
Right.
And you rather run back to your abuser, kind of like a Stockholm syndrome. You rather run back to your abuser where you can identify and understand your role in that setting than your role in the world outside of you.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am. So I ran my mouth enough, sis. I love you, love you, love you. I'm out of here. And I'll talk to you later. Call me, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ivy Ravine. Please subscribe to Ivy Ravine. Please give your information. You can just, you know.
Yeah. I tell people all the time because I don't want to put any really content up on my YouTube page because it's under construction, as I would say. But if you still want to go to it, that's fine. It's Ivy, IVY, Ravine, like you see it up there with a space, IVY, a space, Ravine, you'll find me up there. But I would also implore people then to really go to my codependency awareness recovery support group on Facebook, because that's where I really drop jewels. And it's not about just codependency. It's about healing from the childhood wound. It's about shadow work. It's about finding your identity in the world after abuse. It's about all that good stuff. So it's codependency awareness, and it's / recovery support. All right. So on Facebook. So I'm gonna let you go.
All right, mamas.
Bye.
Talk to you soon.
Okay.
All right, you guys. So yeah. Thank you so much, Ivy, for coming up. I'm going to read some of these messages that I've been neglecting. But yeah, I think if you truly want, if the family wants to get together, it has happened before, and I think it can happen again. I always leave myself open. I'm working on something right now to try and gather people. If you are interested, if you are a member or ex-member, a family member of a member, hit me up. What is it? forthecause.u@gmail.com. It's all words, forthecause.u@gmail.com. You can reach out to some big channel holders like the T, who has the capability to gather people and to create and connect. She obviously has direct connection with ex-members. So please reach out to her as well. I'm gonna put my information in the chat just for anybody's interested. Right. There for y'all. I'm gonna read these messages. This conversation is going on in the chat. Delissa said, when I was about 20 years old, my daughter's dad gave me a black eye. I plotted in my head all day long on how I was going to make him pay for it. 2 days later, he was in the hospital. Facts. um, all the family members can do at this point is answer the call when it's time. That is true. Thank you, Samaya. Yes. For those members to leave and go from there. Yes, 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 yes. And be ready. Please be ready. Be loving. Be open. Be stern. Because they're going to try and break boundaries. Remember, they are still programmed. And that's why it's good to reach out to these deprogrammers, which I was going to talk about these deprogrammers who are out there, cult deprogrammers who give information sessions. There are programs out there for them. My goal is to create a program myself, maybe not, maybe just be a vessel for you to reach out to those programs. I'm working on that right now. Thanks, ladies. I've been following this since 2016. Some of the backstories are very complicated. That is a fact. Thank you, Nikki. I put, oh Lord, I'm not going to read that because we're not going to incriminate ourselves on this channel. But Delissa, do what you listen. Find a way out. That's what all I'm gonna say on that. Marie Ali, excuse me, says, plus some family members just don't want their names and family business out in the public, so they try to get them out without the news in public. That yes, but unfortunately for this type of situation, they may have to be vulnerable in order to get their children out. Natureboy was in the mental institution when he was a child. So this nigga has been cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He's doing what they're allowing. Samaya, I be feeling for Tanisha. Yes, I wish I had the means in education. You don't need no money. I promise you, you don't need no money. So when you hear people asking for money, wrong. You don't need the money. You don't need the money. I'm working on so that they all there is resources. And if you want to donate money, it will go to the organization that is helping with the situation. Don't give them money. I repeat, do not give them money. I am a firm believer in support does not require money. I am a testament to that. In some cases, money may be required, but not directly to the member themselves. Yes, she was, Molai. She was speaking all facts. Yes, yes, yes. They don't have respect for no one. Natureboy even has discussed to them before believing the lies that yes. Don't worry about typos. I'll get through them. Velvet and Tanisha have touched me the most because I'm from New Orleans. We have strong, solid matriarchs there, yet they were manipulated. Oh, yeah. Let me scroll down. I don't believe that's why Tanisha returned. She returned because her family member rejected her. There's so many facets to why she returned. It's so many. It's when I say there's so many levels and layers and elements. One, if she truly wanted to leave, one rejection would not have her return. I promise you that. When someone is really ready to go, or there someone picked her up that she didn't know. Someone helped her, and that is how she was able to get her ID or whatever. Tanisha chose to go back. We still don't know why. We can only speculate, but there are many reasons. We have to admit that New Orleans has a strong predilection. What is that word? Oh, man, now I gotta look this up. Give me 1 second. Let me stop. Oh no, I'm not gonna stop sharing for that one. Predilection, a preference or special liking for something, a bias in favor of something. Okay. So let me read that again. We have to admit that New Orleans has a strong predilection for cult-like behavior. Really? I didn't know that. All I'm gonna say is Natureboy is only doing what they're allowing them to do. If they wanted out, they could leave. If not, oh well. I wouldn't want any of them back in my home talking and acting all weird. Delisa, please, I beg you. I beg you. I don't know if I try on my channel to show a little bit of what happens when somebody like Alicia gets into your mind. I try to show it. I just want you to do some research, talk to some family members. What's crazy is you don't even realize that these types of people are around you until you learn about their patterns and behaviors. And that's real talk. So Fly Gemini, welcome, welcome. All right. What I mean by is like a shelter on or an extra room in place for her. Yes, I don't think any of the members know what to do with money once. That is correct. Let me put that up. Yes. Yes. Samaya, you are on point. Okay. Egypt, what's up, mamas? I've been on here for 2 hours. You're gonna have to hit the replay. We could take him down. We need solutions. I will reach out to more platforms. Ozark, thank you. Thank you, Ozark. It's going to happen. Even if when I say take him down, you have to realize what makes him even strong enough to even use the word be taken down. All you have to do is wake people up. And that'll spiral him into into chaos. He'll go down on his own. Just wake the people around him up as much as you can, as many as you can. And that's what love. I hate to say it sounds corny, but that's what love. Love, and I would say knowledge, education, realization, revealing to them who he really is, but kind of giving them the ability to do it themselves. We could take him down. I mean, I will never understand how these women leave their children behind for this demon. Women leave their children behind for demons all the time. All the time. And it's very unfortunate. But we're just seeing it thanks, to Eligio. We see it in real time on the screen. We don't hear about it through other family members or watch it on the news about how a woman allowed the man that she was with to convince her to become a prostitute or whatever and trick her out while she got her mother watching her children. It happens all the time. Yes, he is. And I played that video, and that's why I want to show you the ending of this clip. He's dehumanizing them, and to exert some extra bit of power and control. This is what he says to the person who was egging him on.
Nigga, how dare you?
Shut up, nigga. Shut up.
Fucking joke.
That's right, T3. Yo, I hope y'all recording this. Y'all better not be not recording this. This man is the Chief 3. You are looking at a fucking legend right now. On demand. I need to do this to my pit bulls because my pit bulls be fucking out of line.
Right? Up.
And they say he don't got no power. This is power, y'all.
Up. Down.
Listen to the man talking. He thought it was cute. He thought it was fun. He thought it was playful. He thought it was something to glorify until the tables turned.
Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Outstanding.
I stand out. I stand out.
Arms like this.
Yo, so look, when they eating, right? How you tell them to pick up the fork?
Nigga, shut the fuck up when I'm talking, nigga.
My nigga, how dare you?
Shut up, nigga. Shut up.
Up. Down.
There you go. Outstanding.
Left. Right. Don't tell me to shut up, nigga. I'm from Harlem too, nigga.
Bruh, say another word and I'm gone.
Another word, nigga. We don't give a fuck. Up. Down. Press. Hey, nigga, I don't give a fuck, nigga. Who the fuck you thought you was, nigga? You killed the baby. You killed the baby, nigga. The fuck you?
See what I'm saying, y'all? See what I'm saying? He has no respect for anyone. So for the men who think this is cute, the men who aspire to be this, the men who think, oh, it ain't happening to me or my family, he ain't disrespecting me. He just ain't meet you yet. He just ain't see you yet. He just ain't encounter you yet or your family. And that's not the worst of it. See, he's growling at him. He's doing all these things. Remember, he's been watching Freddy Krueger. He takes on any personality he can, any persona he can, to get him in some kind of mood or some kind of mindset, because he can't channel it on his own. This is what they are up against. So when you are telling Tanisha she looked like trout mouth, when you're laughing at True for more than likely forcibly getting his beard shaved or doing it to prove his loyalty, when you're calling them names, it feels good to you, but you're only solidifying why they should not leave, why they should just stay. When you are in an interview and you're telling Janae that she's going to go back, you're only justifying his actions. You're only justifying his actions. Ozark, you are more than welcome to do so, but do it strategically and be smart. Be smart about every move you make. Gather the resources needed to make it stick. You'll have to, if you want to do that, create a network, something strong. Reach out to a investigative journalist, as I said before. You have to start thinking smart. Love on them in the chat. Remind them of the people that they have left behind. And I don't mean be disrespectful. Just put the name in the damn chat. Put the name of her child in the chat. Her sister. Say who you are and say, I love you. If you are a family member in the chat. Now that would be something. That would be something if y'all could do that. Put it in a subconscious. Because when he calls them bitch, whore, hoe, fuck face, dumb, stupid, he's putting that in a subconscious because they see it, they read it. People laughing at him, clowning them, calling them punks. What's up, Dice? Shout out to Dice TV. He breaks it down just the way I do, but he breaks it down from a male's perspective, and I love that. Because Alicio think he tough. He think he from the hood. He's not. Yes, it is abuse. Yes, it is. Thank you, Gizzle. Jizzle or Gizzle, you know, listen. They G is crazy. So just be mindful of that, y'all. I appreciate everyone who was here in the chat today. I don't even go live at night anymore, y'all. I don't know why I said that. Rhonda, all my moon goddess, welcome. Yes, he is serious. Yes, he is, moon goddess. Y'all know I've been on here for 2.5 hours. I must have been really passionate about this one. Yeah. Reach out to me, reach out to family members, reach out to these channel holders because they have the power. I'm a little channel holder. Y'all might not know that. But reach out to channel holders who have a following. Because as you can see, people who leave and family members are more likely to reach out to them because they have a platform. It's okay, Moon Goddess. You can always catch the replay, break it up in bits, 30-minute increments, 30 to an hour increments, and you'll get a lot from it. I promise you, if you play it back. Yeah, I appreciate y'all so much, and please reach out to me. I'm gonna drop. Let me see if I can drop it one more time. I'm gonna drop my email one more time for anybody who's interested. Oops, that's the link. Oh, no. I'm going to break it off. It hurts. Yes, it does. It hurts but I don't know how long you've been watching, but you start to develop, I'm not going to say you become immune, but you realize that they have to do some soul searching and they have to come out on their own. We don't want to end up like the founder of Deprogramming, who ended up getting in a lot of trouble, paying a lot of money, and then getting his organization taken from him by a cult, which is Scientology. And for those who don't know who he was, his name is what was it? Let me see if I can remember. Nope, I'm gonna have to look for it. Frederick, I think it was Fred. They call him Fred because it was almost like Frederick Douglass or something like that, or Ben Franklin or something. Let me see. Give me a second, y'all. I gotta look for it. Where he at? Okay, Ted. There we go. Theodore Roosevelt Patrick. Ted Patrick. So look up Ted Patrick. This has been done before. We can wake them up. We can do it together. For those who are interested. You can do it on your own. Well, not on your own, but you can do it. If you have the connections, you can do it. Just do something. If you want to keep watching, do something. Put love into their subconscious or something, or teach others what not to do. All right, y'all, I'm rambling. I'll talk to y'all later. Please have a wonderful day, wonderful week. I don't know if I'm going to go live again on this topic. So for those who are into Nature Boy, y'all might not see me on this topic. So y'all might not see me. My next video will probably be me humming or meditating, playing with music, or I don't know, finding love. That's what I do. That's my niche. Okay, my niche. So yeah, have a wonderful day, y'all. Peace and blessings. Bye.